So close to being live, and we're live. There we go. I never know if it's like a couple seconds before we actually get started. Sometimes it makes it feel that way. But hello, everyone.
What is
Today
up?
is Tuesday. What is going on, Jordan? How you doing, man?
I'm great. Yeah, that intro is like you gotta do like the newscasters where it's like this silent 3, 2, 1, and they just point. They don't say one.
I never know what to do with that. I know it's like, but there's no one there. There's no one there to tell me those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no.
it's just us.
But
But everyone, thank you guys so much for joining us. Today is Sam Cart Takeover. This has become one of our most popular things that we do live here on YouTube and streaming to the Facebook group and everything as well. But yeah, basically today we are going to take an awesome, successful creator. Her name is Marie Poulin. I think, am I saying that right, by the way? Is it Poulin? Poulin?
I think Poulin.
Poulin. Marie Poulin. Anybody who doesn't know who Marie is, definitely go check her out. She makes great stuff. She's got a great audience. She's awesome. I really, really enjoy her stuff a lot.
Oh yeah.
Jordan, this is sort of like you fanboyed out a little bit over Marie. Like, tell everybody, like, who is Marie and what does she do?
Yeah, this is my favorite. Marie, if you ever get started in Notion, we all know that I'm a Notion fanboy. If you get started with Notion, the first YouTube tutorial you will go to will probably be Marie Poulin's YouTube channel. She has great stuff like how to organize your life, how to kind of start from scratch, not just make simple pages, but how to make like advanced page within page databases. And she's such a sweet lady, and it's amazing to watch her.
As someone who is a coworker of Jordan's, I can vouch for the idea that he is a huge Notion fanboy as well. Just a big fan all around. But here's the really cool part. Today on Sam Cart Takeover, we get a chance to look at Marie's business. We're going to break down kind of her revenue streams. How is she turning, her public-facing stuff that everybody watches, YouTube videos, and she's big on, what else is she big on? She's YouTube and...
She's on YouTube, a little bit of Twitter. So
a little bit of Twitter. I wanted to say Twitter. I don't want to speak out of turn. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen her on Twitter, but maybe anyway. And how does she turn that into revenue? Okay, how do we, as creators, translate what we're doing into sales and revenue and profit and bigger businesses and freedom and all of that awesome stuff that we are all here for? So with that, Jordan, let's go ahead and dive into those slides.
Yeah, let's get this slideshow going. So a little context. Let's bring us into the picture. Bam. So a little context to Marie. Marie is, we call her the queen of Notion, but she's also the co-founder and chief strategist. She works with her husband at her design firm, strategy firm called Okie Dokie, and they're both
best name of all time. Absolutely,
yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. And they have I think it's a Shiba Inu, like the Doge dog. They have that as like their mascot too. Like that's their pet. So it's amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So she's running Okie Dokie, and they are. Basically, it's like not a content strategy, but it's like a digital strategy firm working with larger brands, larger companies. So that's one side of the business. The other side of the business is her Notion Mastery courses, which is a cohort course. And it's like, if you really want to get advanced and like up the ante and go all in on Notion and bring your life and your business into Notion, she has this huge course that'll just lay it out for you.
Love that. Yeah, it's awesome, right? So yeah, so here is Marie, somebody who is doing awesome stuff and creating awesome stuff, and she sells awesome stuff, right? So let's break down how Marie sells those things. Right, if you go to notionmastery.com, which is not, of course, not like an affiliate link or something, just, we're just giving Marie a shout out here, which, by the way, any of you guys out there, it looks like in the chat, there are people who know and love Marie already. Give her a shout out, give her a tag, right? Tag her in the comments of this or share this with her.
Yep.
Obviously would love for her to actually see this and check it out. So, but yeah, basically take a look at what we're looking at right here. This is sort of a big, long scrolling screenshot of the sales page that Marie uses to sell her cohort course, right, called Notion Mastery. And so one of my very favorite things to kind of shout out here, right, is that Marie basically follows a lot of the same stuff that you're going to find inside of SamCart templates. Okay, SamCart is a full template library that is built with sales pages that are basically like 90% of the way done. And all you guys have to do is sort of just follow the things down. It's the right stuff in the right order. And all you guys have to do is just sort of fill in the blanks with whatever it is that you're selling. But I absolutely love that. Marie really understands that a dedicated sales page is maybe the most important page of her entire business, because all she does is link people back to that sales page. Okay, so there's some stuff in there that we would change, and we'll kind of get into that just a little bit. But the idea of having a sales page, super, super valuable. Another thing Marie does, okay, is she actually breaks out Notion Mastery into there's sort of two different options. You can pay $750, you can pay $1,200. Jordan, break down like what's going on here. What are we looking at?
Yeah, so she does it, breaks the course into tiers, which we recommend that for all SamCard users. Like if you have a course, break it into the basic tier and the advanced tier, or silver and gold, whatever you want to call it. For the $750 one, that is Notion Mastery, just as a solo, maybe you're just a solopreneur, one man business. But if you also have a tiny team, as she calls it, or like a small business, or 3 to 5 people on your team, you can opt in for the $1,200 option, and I guess the whole team gets access to it. We didn't look too far into it, but
something like that. We did not go
yeah.
buy it, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Marie. We did not actually purchase your $1,200 training. But yeah, it seems to be something kind of like that. It seems to be sort of a team experience versus a solo experience. But I really love, right, that Marie has basically given her customers right off the bat. Something we talk about here in every video we make, right, is all about giving your customers the opportunity to spend more money. Right? She's not just settling for the idea that, people are going to pay $750 and that's it. It's not a one and done transaction. She's giving people an opportunity to spend an extra $500 if that meets their needs. And I absolutely love that.
Yep. So just context for Notion Mastery, because we'll be talking about it the whole time. It is she calls it a semi-guided learning experience. So it's a cohort. So part of it is video lessons that you can watch at your own pace. But then inside they have, I think there's like now 6, 7, 8 people working for Notion Mastery that are doing the coaching, office hours. I think they even do like a hot seat. Like the student will come on live and show everybody what you're working on, and like all the teachers will give you feedback, plus the community in there. So it's not just like a simple course. Like this is pretty advanced. This is like a large team working on this. So it's not just so the $1,200 to $750 definitely justifies the price.
For sure. Yeah.
Yep. So let's go. Let's dive into it. So we have 2 angles that we kind of want to go with Notion Mastery. So Notion Mastery, it being $750, $1,200, we would call this a very high ticket item. So with
it's expensive, right? That's what high ticket means. It's expensive, not cheap.
So with high ticket items, naturally you're going to have low volume, low sales volume, low number of customers coming through the door versus, obviously like if you sold a $1 product, you would have much more customers. You would have a high volume. So the 2 things we want to tackle today are limited growth and increasing your average order value, or AOV. So throughout this video, throughout this live stream, if you hear us say AOV, just know we're saying average order value.
More money.
Make more money per user. What's another way to say it? Average cart value.
Yeah, average cart value, average order value. You're increasing what each customer is spending. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you go to the grocery store, you go to one thing and you end up buying 5 things. You know what I mean? You want the same sort of experience every time your customers buy from you. Again, something SamCard does extremely, extremely well, but we'll break into exactly where we think that would fit in beautifully into Marie's business, and we think we could do a big, big time damage in her bottom line.
Yep. So then to give you guys a little bit more context as what we're going to go into today. Limited growth, we're going to focus on the customer data side. We're going to talk about retargeting, and then we're also going to get into the fees and support that come with the platforms that she's using. Anything you want to add to this, or just
only that it looks like Marie is watching on YouTube with us.
We have her in the chat. What's up,
Marie? What's going on? That was super fun to kind of reach out. We have some mutual friends, but never had a chance to actually chat with you. Marie, had a great time diving into your business. Hopefully, you find this really valuable. But we'll go ahead and go through it.
More flattering than insulting. The next pillar that we want to tackle is increase average order value. And the 2 things we'll tackle inside that are lifetime customer value, which kind of is related to average order value.
Big time.
And then upsells and cross sells, which I'm counting as just one thing. So let's dive into it.
Let's see it.
All right. So limited growth. That's the first thing we want to talk about. Limited growth, growing your business, scaling your business. Scott, you want to talk in general about like scaling your business, like the issues that come with that? From
a high level, you know what I mean? From a high level, everybody should be always looking for, any creators out there, you guys should be looking for ways that you can take artificial caps off of your own growth. A lot of people, when you have one thing to buy, you're sort of capping your own growth. You know what I mean? When you don't create multiple entry points into your business, right? Like if all Marie had was sort of this, $750,000, it's not 750,000, you know what I mean? $750 to $1,000 sort of entry point, then you're only going to get so many customers, which is fine. Some people, that's their business, you know what I mean? But there are a lot of ways that you can fuel more growth by getting more customers, letting them spend more, right? And really take your business to the next level. I cannot say enough. The businesses that are on SamCart that do 7, 8, 9 figures in revenue all of them, okay, have sort of a variety of different ways that people can get in there. They've got built-in ways that people come back again and again. And we'll kind of get into, some of the ways that we think that would be really awesome to sort of inject into Marie's business. And then, of course, all of you guys watching as well.
Cool. All right. So the first problem within this pillar is when simplicity goes wrong. So first, we want to talk about, Scott, the fact that she's using Gumroad to sell her Notion template. So she's selling.
Yeah. So to sort of like transition a little bit, right? So Marie has like the Notion mastery thing is sort of the main, business. And I don't know, Marie, you can share as much as you want in the comments or not, no big deal. But then you sort of have these, she sort of has these like $30 Notion templates that she sells, which are awesome. Super cool. Nice, easy transaction. They're all about $30. Some of them, she even uses Gumroad's pay what you want feature. Very cool. Samcart, of course, has a very similar feature. It's awesome. Very, very cool. But let's talk about when simplicity goes wrong. Okay, we see a lot of this with people who use Gumroad is a popular sort of startup tool for a lot of people who are out there selling online stuff. And again, they're simple, but they're almost simple to a fault. And let's kind of explain why, right? So when you're focused on simplicity, that's awesome. I love that. I love the checkout experience is so simple for people who sell on Gumroad. It's super, super awesome there. But here's where some of the problems that we get, and we get these a lot with, sort of our account managers who are dealing with bigger businesses who are, making transitions and stuff, is that it's tough for growing businesses. It's tough to get team members in there. It's tough to change subscription billing dates. It's tough to, get customers like multiple different invoices. It's tough to integrate with a lot of tools I need. And, it's just a lot of those things can be tougher on growing businesses. Those are kind of things that maybe you guys were starting out, you might not feel that pain, but we see a lot of that. Number two is a lack of service. We'll kind of talk about that in a second, right? But Gumroad has a very specific business model, which is cool. You know what I mean? I kind of dig it. They've had a really kind of unique journey. I encourage everyone to go kind of check it out. But lack of service can be a big one, especially for, again, growing businesses. When you need people, you're talking about your payments, you know what I mean? So if things ever go wrong, you've got questions, you're in the middle of the night and you kind of need something, you know what I mean? A lot of that lack of service can be felt in a major way, and we hear that kind of a lot. Number four is you're giving up a lot of ownership. Okay, so, with some other places that you might sell your stuff online, they actually handle the money for you, right? And you kind of get paid by them. And there's cuts taken out, sometimes really big cuts taken out, you know what I mean? And the schedule and when that can happen, you know what I mean? A lot of things can sort of affect that, but somebody else has your money and you're giving up ownership of that. And there's a lot of other things you're giving up ownership with, a lot of things like related to your customer data. And there's just a lot of things going on there that, again, as you grow, things that get important there, you know what I mean? You kind of are handing off to someone else in order to manage and take care of. And then, really the last one is, again, it's just not a tool. It's designed to help you sell more. I feel like this is a broken record bullet point. We've done, I think this is like the fourth, Samcart takeover that we've done. And that bullet point has been in every single one of them. And so, but with good reason. We'll kind of talk about that in just a minute, but we can go ahead and head out as well to the next one.
Sweet. So now we're doing a little comparison.
Of course the comparison is going to sound good. We're also focused on simplicity. Love that. Checkout experience should be simple, right? And it should be simple no matter where you're selling. Do not settle for complex checkout processes, right? Scaling with you as you grow. Like I mentioned, we have a lot of people who sell 7, 8, 9 figures in revenue on Samcart, and that's really what we're here. So the support stuff, someone, Marie, in your shoes, we have dedicated account managers, you know what I mean, that are going to be there to pick up the phone and answer questions and, advocate for you for new features and stuff like that. That fourth bullet point, of course, with Samcart, you own everything. The money's kind of in your corner. You're saying your customer data is in your corner. Create products. There's no limitations there. There's no limitations to what you can sell, which maybe not necessarily something with Gumroad, but, whatever. And then that last bullet point of helping you sell more. That's really what we do here. And a big piece, I think, of what we will get into in just a little bit. But again, it's mostly about control. You guys as creators, you need tools in your corner that are going to let you have an idea for something new that could help you grow and help you spin something else up. You need to be able to jump out there and launch it in a heartbeat, right? Without any kind of limitations and things like that. And Gumroad might not necessarily create, I think you have unlimited products on there, but there are a lot of places that limit you based on products. They limit you based on what you sell. They limit you based on how you can sell it. You know what I mean? And anything that does that should be a red flag for sure.
Marie is adding, my templates have coupon codes, which they can apply to the course, she says, which people do use. And then she also added that she sells templates through ConvertKit as well. So I didn't know
love it.
Had, like landing pages or like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I love this. Again, like the simple experiences of buying. So cool. Awesome. Marie, thanks for joining us. This is super cool. I'm really glad that to be able to have that kind of feedback is really fun. So yeah, all of you guys should be focused on simple experiences for your customers. No big multi-step checkout. No, you have to log in before you can buy and you got to do all this kind of stuff. Every time you do that, you are losing sales big time. We've even have, and again, this is sort of a preview to coming attractions here in just a second, but we even ran a split test with a bunch of our top customers where we went from, hey, let's cut down 2 pages for someone to buy. So a sales page and then click over and you buy on the next page. Let's cut that down to 1 page. Something that Samcart does, like that is all we do, is all of our templates sort of have that signature 1-page design kind of element to it. And 1 page converted 24.9% higher than just 2 pages, right? So think about it, right? I don't have my phone on me. You guys, like, if someone's on your phone, and they go and they're scrolling and checking things out and then they click and go over to the next page, you know what I mean? Like, what happens when their cell phone drops service? You know what I mean? What happens when they're not in a 5G area? You know what I mean? You can lose a lot of sales when you force multiple page loads and things like that. And so some of you guys, again, wherever you're being forced to sell might force you to use 3 pages or 4 pages or something like that, right? Shorten that stuff up. It is a big, big win.
Yep. The next thing we want to tackle, Scott, is retargeting. So
yeah.
With high ticket items like this,
yes,
the issue might not be about traffic. It might not be about getting the number of eyeballs on it. It might be that the sales process is just longer. So you're going to have to be in contact with these potential customers at a longer period. The sales period for a short little course that's $27, $30 Notion template, that might be...
Yeah, maybe that's too quick. You know what I mean? That's easy. It's fast. It's quick. It's done, right? No big deal.
But something large like $750, $1,200, that takes some time. That, like, especially for a team, if you're like, the low man on the totem pole and you got to go up to your boss to convince them, like, hey, I think we should get this $1,200 Notion course. I think we should all take it. Like, that takes days, weeks to get approved. So you need multiple. You always call it like bites of the apple, but like swings of the bat, whatever you want to call it. Like, you need multiple ways to keep hammering at it. They're like, hey, by the way, saw that you checked out notionmastery.com. Come on back, check it out, or here's a coupon code, or let's get a call. Whatever it is that needs to get that sale, because it is such a large item that it's going to take a way more. The road is longer. No way else to put it.
For sure. Yeah. And so again, it's funny. It's very fun to have like comments from Marie kind of coming in, right? Q said, curious what you consider low volume. So yeah, I mean, really any of you guys that are selling anything that is, I would say anything that's more expensive than $100, right? Really deserves retargeting, right? And so retargeting is a very simple process. Basically, someone comes to buy your stuff, they leave without buying, and you get a chance to send them an email. You get a chance to put a Facebook ad in front of them. You get a chance to send them a text message, some sort of follow-up, likely multiple times, you know what I mean, after they leave. And so, I went to Marie's sales page a couple days ago. I think, what is it? It's Tuesday. I think I did it on Monday morning, right? And filled out some of my information and then left the page. You know what I mean? And I haven't yet gotten any kind of follow-up about, hey, would you like to come back and check out, Notion Mastery or something like that, right? And that can do, that is like shooting fish in a barrel, right? And so, of course, on Samcart, we have this feature called prospects, where someone starts filling out their information. Basically, you can capture that and you can take the phone number, you can take their email address, you can add them to a Facebook custom audience and start adding retargeting to them, right? And there's just a lot of different ways that you can put your message back in front of your best, hottest leads, you know what I mean? And start bringing them back and start winning back more of those lost sales. Those campaigns are some of the highest ROI campaigns you will ever run for any of you guys out there that are creators. And so again, just another thing, it's very simple. Write a couple quick messages. We even have, actually, if anybody checks it out, what is the name of that video, Jordan? It's like 3 retargeting campaigns you need to do right now or something like that on our YouTube channel that you guys can go check that out. We recommend and give you guys actually some templates, some downloads that you can use to, what emails should I send? What should I say in a text message kind of stuff.
Oh, that's right. If you're on our YouTube channel, search the most profitable email you'll ever send. That's the name of the channel.
I think that's the one.
Most profitable email you'll ever send.
Yeah, it's got some 3 campaigns on there that you absolutely should be running that I absolutely love that. So definitely, make sure that you guys check that kind of stuff, whether it's via email, whether it's via text message, whether it's via Facebook ads, whatever that is. It's the kind of thing where you're going to spend $10 and you're going to make $1,000 sale. You know what I mean? If that's kind of where you're at, but that one little extra push, right, is an enormous thing. It's something that our account managers work with all of our top sellers to put that kind of stuff in place. Highly, highly profitable stuff.
All right, do we show them the diagram?
Show them the diagram. Let's do it.
the retargeting diagram. A lot of arrows here.
In case you guys didn't know, this is professionally designed. This is we put a lot of money and time and effort and energy into exactly what you see here. But Jordan, break down this lovely, colorful diagram we've made here.
Okay, so we're working from left to right here. So at the top left, you have your customers. They will come into your SamCart page, your Notion Mastery page, and you have the feature enabled called Cart Abandonment. That's for our scale plans on SamCart, correct, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, that's actually, I believe cart abandonment is actually available on all plans. You guys, anybody can capture their prospects. On SamCart Scale, we have some added features and some kind of built-in stuff to help you do that even better. But yeah, I mean, you can collect your prospects, your cart abandons on any SamCart plan, actually.
Right on. Okay, so you go, cart abandonment's enabled, and then that will send that data to say you're using ConvertKit or using MailChimp or whatever your email marketing service is, or your text messaging service, which
Yep.
I'm not familiar with some names, Scott. You probably know more about.
Yeah, you do a lot of those things. Twilio and Sales Message, and there's a lot of different ways that you can get that kind of stuff done. A lot of them really cost effective. Text message stuff, if you can do it, you know what I mean? You can capture that phone number. It is, I would say, the highest ROI going right now in retargeting stuff.
So you send them a text message, you send them an email saying like, hey, it's Marie, just saw that you're on Notion Mastery. Like, did you have any questions? Like, we're doing this all the time at SamCart. Like, hey, saw that you visited SamCart. Did you have any questions about signing up? What features are you most curious about? Because that's you could tell me, Scott, like that's what most people want to know. They just have like one little question that's going to send them over the edge.
Yeah, most people are one big question away from buying. That's our big mantra. You know what I mean? If you can answer that one objection, hey, did you have any questions you want to ask me before checking out? Hey, here's an extra 10% off coupon. Here's your link or whatever, and you get a chance to answer that one last question. Absolutely awesome. We work with a local ballet studio not far from us, and we basically implemented exactly this. All it was checkout page retargeting to a text message that, basically someone went to fill out their information, we get it, and someone just on staff is just literally sitting there asking a question. You know what I mean? Hey, saw you were checking it out. Do you have any questions before buying? They very quickly get answers back. You answer that one question, and they were just closing sales right and left. It was like what was it? I want to say it was like a 300% increase in the number of their students that signed up for classes.
Nice.
Within the like cohort. They did like fall or spring classes or whatever after implementing this kind of stuff. Yep. And I want to actually bring up one thing that Marie said, right? So Marie actually said, I don't want to drive traffic until it's complete in its new iteration, and I am proud AF. Absolutely, 100%. I think, when we talk about things like ads, a lot of times that can feel like this really high barrier. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to pay for Facebook ads. I don't want to drive traffic, do that kind of stuff. Well, the retargeting stuff, right, doesn't have to just be Facebook, right? We're talking about how you can do it via email, right, with just ConvertKit, how you can do it with text message, and just those people that are visiting your page, like I did yesterday, you know what I mean, that are visiting every single day but not yet buying. You can start winning back some of those people, in droves, right, and adding a ton of new customers in the door.
So the other way to do retargeting as well is like you Facebook pixels, YouTube pixels, and then that just is this simple like, hey, you could call out, hey, I saw that you visit. Like you can make an ad specifically saying in your video like, hey, I saw that you visited Notion Mastery.
Yep.
And then just like boom, hit them like right in the heart, like whoa,
fish in a barrel.
How'd you know?
This person's a magician. Like, how did they do that, right? But that's how you create those kind of scenarios. If you've ever run into one of those online, you're like, whoa, I was just looking at that, and now it's like I'm over on this random website, and it's like this is how you do that kind of stuff. It's so targeted. It's not, this is not the kind of stuff that takes thousands of dollars a month. You know what I mean? These are the kind of campaigns you run it for $50 a month. You know what I mean? And it's going to just start spitting off new buyers and new customers coming in your front door.
Yep. And YouTube is so big for her that like that could be her primary channel, and she could turn organic videos into paid ads, or she could make paid ads herself and run that on YouTube.
For sure.
Now let's move in, Scott, into fees and support. You want to talk about this a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about some of this stuff. So, this is a picture of Gumroad's support system or their fee structure, right? And it's really cool. I really like what they've done. Sometime last year, they sort of relaunched into this thing, right? Where basically, starting for free, and they take 9% of your sales. A big chunk of your sales, but yeah, when you're starting out, sure, right? Again, Gumroad being very, very good for people I think who are like really launching, really kind of starting out, but again, at the same time, giving away a lot there are trade-offs here. You know what I mean? There are really big trade-offs here. And there's a really big piece we'll kind of talk about on the next slide that's sort of like their organizational philosophy that I just sort of fundamentally disagree with. And that's cool. If anybody big fans, no big deal, right? But I want all of you guys to be aware of sort of like where those trade-offs exist and how does somebody else look at these kind of things, right? So Jordan, go ahead and hit the next slide.
This one right here. Okay.
Yeah, so what you're looking at here is something from about a year ago now, right at this point in time. But this was a letter from their founder, from Gumroad's founder. Basically, Gumroad was a big venture-backed company. They ran out of money. They shrank like crazy. And now they're kind of did this new thing and are kind of coming back. You know what I mean? They're kind of bringing it back into the world. So, but I highlighted two things. The first one says we have if we include full-time employees, it's none, not even me, right? So basically they have 25 people working at Gumroad at the time of this. It could be more now at this point. But they have no full-time employees. They have no calendars. Basically, people get to work when they want. And that's cool. It sounds cool for them. You know what I mean? But I think what that's translated into is a lot of what we hear is, I needed help right away. Something was going wrong and I didn't have it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't have the support and the personalization, you know what I mean? Like those kind of things. And when you're talking about where you make your payments, I can't stress it. That's just where I just fundamentally disagree. And where I say things like, there are problems for growing businesses. This is kind of what I'm referencing. You know what I mean? So, I think it shows, they said their creators make 175 million a year. It sounds like a nice number again, but I think there's a big reason why Samcart is home to more 7, 8, 9-figure sellers than just about anywhere else online, especially pound for pound. You know what I mean? That's kind of it. So, I think the proof is in the pudding there a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're nice people, you know what I mean? But sort of just a fundamental disagreement on terms of like the fee structure, of which again, Samcart takes 0% of your sales. That's sort of just how we operate. As big as you get, as big as you want to go, that's cool. And yeah, we put a lot of time and effort and energy. I think about half of our employees now at this point are here on the customer service side. A lot of those being dedicated account managers for anybody who's, making, certain amounts per month and stuff like that, which I guarantee is smaller than you kind of think. And we just put a lot of time and effort and energy into that. And it shows. I think a lot of our customers, they rave about that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, it's important. You know what I mean? Where your payments are processed, where your money is, you know what I mean, is very, very important. And so I always want to make sure that creators, you guys that are watching that kind of stuff, think through this kind of stuff as you are yourself getting set up.
Yeah, the fear is like if you're doing one of those, cart open, cart close extravaganza, big offerings, and then like something goes wrong with your page, and it's like, I need help right now because this offer goes from Friday to Sunday, and I need help now. So, and there's no one here to help me.
What happens if Gumroad turns you off? You know what I mean? What happens if they stop your payment processing? Because again, they own it, right? Yeah. What happens if they determine that your business is, not in their sweet spot? You know what I mean? And they hold on to your cash. Like, there's just, I've seen a lot of things in my career of doing this kind of stuff, and it's a red flag for me. But yeah, well, we'll keep moving.
All right, let's move on to pillar number 2 now, Scott, and that is average order value, AOV.
This is the really fun stuff. This is stuff we love talking about. Okay, AOV, average order value. What we're describing is, what do your customers spend when they buy from you? Okay, so a lot of you guys might be thinking like, well, that's kind of a silly question. I sell something that's $100, so my average order value is $100. Well, if that's true, if the price of what you sell equals your average order value, you are missing out on the boat. Okay, you are in a major, major way. You are missing out on the majority of your business. Okay, like focusing on average order value, a little bit of pressure here is like the kind of thing that can 2-3x your revenue overnight. And I have seen it over and over and over again. Again, this is why Samcart sellers are so successful. This is why Samcart sellers make 3 to 5 times more than people that sell in other spots, right? Let's look at this. So this is one of my favorite people on the planet, a creator that sells on Samcart. Her name is Ashley Ann Jones. You guys can check her out at King Ashley Ann on Instagram. But she, using some features that we call order bumps and cross sells, some things that we have built into Samcart, she goes from selling like a $30 product, okay, to her average customer, right, is spending north of $150, okay? Or I'm sorry, not her average customer. Her average customer value, I think, is like 90 or something like that. But her customers, when they buy her $30 something, they can spend up to I think it's $157 is like the most they can spend in that time, because Ashley gives them chances to add other things as they're buying, okay? And they're using some Samcart features to make that seamless and simple and so awesome. And so, yeah, basically, Ashley's like she's 3xing what her customers are worth. You know what I mean? The price of her product is here. Her average order value is 3 times larger. Okay. And so what does she do with all those extra sales? It's fuel in the fire to turn around and grow her business. It's extra profit she can take off the table. It's money she can reinvest into making all of her other stuff that much better. You know what I mean? It is just completely fuels and drives her business. And so it's just a really, really exciting thing. I cannot recommend this stuff enough. Right. But how could we be driving cart value for anybody? And of course, you know, Marie, of course, we're looking, you know, squarely at you here, right? But how can we help drive cart value and grow it so that you can tap into the potential that every single one of your customers that comes through, right? At least 2 out of every 10, you know what I mean, is ready to spend more money if you give them the option. And that's what we're going to talk about. We have some very kind of specific recommendations, I think, of how we could get that done.
Yeah, the idea is that in between these, like we talked about the high ticket items, so it might be a low volume or like, you're not selling as much. So they're with large items like that, you need some kind of small thing to kind of feed the fire as you're going. So if some creators may be selling these large ticket items, maybe like one a day or one a week, whereas something small like this, your Notion templates where you're selling it for $30 a piece, those can go from, if you have add to order, if you have an order bump in there, if you have a cross sell baked in, we're going to talk about this next, like send your customers on a shopping spree that they can buy one Notion template or 3 or 5, or they can bundle them all up and they were originally going to buy something for $30 and now they're buying something for $150. So,
love that. And so, like, this is a graph, and again, like, this is just projections, you know what I mean? But let's just assume that Marie in the next 30 days is going to sell 150, okay, of these $30 Notion templates, okay? So the product is $30. We think we'll sell something like 150 of them, right? Well, without anything else, okay, you're going to collect $4,500 in revenue. Sounds awesome. You know what I mean? Really, really, really dope. Selling those on Gumroad, obviously, it's sort of one-off sales. Like, that's kind of it. Well, if we go ahead and we add some of the stuff we're going to talk about in a minute, right? If we just add 2 order bumps inside of Samcart, right? We think easily you could be realizing $750, right? From those same 150 customers, right? So basically we think it'd be very, very simple for you to take your average order value from $30 to $50, okay? Really, really quickly and easily. And so we can actually showcase some of that stuff. Jordan, you want to bring up my screen?
Yeah, let's bring it up.
We actually built, right? So we took one of Marie's kind of Notion template mastery page and we just rebuilt it on Samcart, right? And so again, you guys can go to notionmastery.com. I encourage all of you guys to go check out Marie's stuff. She's a great example. I think a lot to learn here from somebody who just understands how to sell what she has, right? And you guys can kind of go through, but again, we just kind of remade this really quickly on Samcart. We might have left out, one section or two, right? But
her sales page is really long. It's really great. Like I wouldn't edit anything out of it. But yeah, for the quick and dirty version, this is our 30-minute cooking show. Like this is
exactly. Yeah, it's someone
pulling the cooked turkey out of the oven.
Exactly. We'll do that. So here's what I really love, right? Marie, on your page, right? You offer Notion Mastery and you also offer like a payment plan. So let's break it up into 2 payments of something, right? You can do the same thing. You can also offer Teams and a payment plan on Teams, right? All right on the same page. We call this feature payment options on Samcart. Super simple. But again, this is now all on the same page, which doesn't sound like too much, right? Going from your sales page to kind of like one page, but we talked about it before, right? 24.9% boost to conversions over that big sample size, that split test that we did with a bunch of our top sellers. And then this is where things get really fun, okay? If you could add 1, 2, 3, 4 of these little, we call them order bumps, okay? That's inside of Samcart's kind of like lingo. This is just one way that Samcart is going to help all of you guys, anybody watching this, help your people create little mini shopping sprees and go buy more stuff from you, okay? Is we think it'd be so simple for Marie to take, like one of her Notion templates and start offering it to every single person who buys Notion Mastery. Or if you were selling a template on this page, you could offer all of your other templates right here on the same page and let people go click, 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 click. I want to buy all these things. And then this is a really fun one. This one I cannot recommend enough for anybody watching this call who sells high ticket services, right? You work with clients and things like that. Every single one of you should have an order bump on your page that is an hour of your time. Okay, to schedule 30 minutes to an hour of your time, let people pay to do it, right? So whether that's $500 or whether that's $100, whatever that might be to you, okay? And you will be shocked at the number of people who are going to come through, are going to add this, thing, and then all of a sudden you get a chance to get on a phone call and pitch your highest price services to someone who is like unbelievably highly qualified. They've come through, they've bought your stuff, They paid extra to get on the phone with you, right? And you are just going to be closing sales right and left on those calls with your into your highest price services and coaching, whatever it is that you guys might be doing, right? Whether that's services or anything else like that. And Jordan, actually, you know what I need to do? I need to stop sharing because I want to share the add to order thing really quick. And let me go ahead. I'm going to put I need to get back into a SamCart.
Marie's she's trolling us in the chat. She's like, she's like, nope, I will never do one-on-one work. Thanks, though.
That's fine. Okay, so that's good. Like, not a part of Marie's thing. That's no big deal, right? Any of you guys, if that applies to you, okay, Jordan, go ahead, share my screen because I want to showcase what we can do with this, actually.
All right, you're up.
Okay, cool. So I'm up. So Marie, not your thing. No big deal. That's fine. You don't want to do any kind of one-on-one stuff. But imagine this, for anybody who's watching this, this is what a lot of SamCart service sellers do. Okay, they'll get on these calls. Okay, they'll get on the one-on-one thing, whatever kind of stuff. And there's this button right here called Add to Order. Okay, and I can pull up. This is a test order that I made just a little bit ago, and you can use Add to Order. I can search for whatever other products that I have kind of built out here, right? I can say, hey, let's go find my monthly service consulting subscription or something, right? And cool, I'll go ahead and add this to the cart. Maybe I'm going to add, something else to this. Let me see. I'm going to add something less expensive because this is actually a real cart of mine. So I'll go ahead and add, one or two other products, and I can actually charge using the credit card on file and just click that charge button, and boom, you're going to be on the phone. Your customers say, yes, I'd love to be a service client. Hey, let me go ahead and start your subscription. We're using your Visa that ends in, whatever. They say yes, and bam. You from right inside of SamCart can add it to their order and be off and running with that new client in absolutely no time. It is a massively popular feature. Any of you guys that are out there that are selling your own service stuff right now, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing, that's absolutely like, it's a no-brainer. It is a wildly popular feature, something that we see all the time.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't use it for Notion Mastery, maybe for the okie dokie side where she's doing a strategy call and say like, hey, let's do a paid strategy call. And then, yes, we do want to be clients. We want to move forward and make it official. And they go, okay, great. Already got your credit card information, add to order, and now you're a full-blown client.
Bingo. Maria, I totally respect your desire to never work one-on-one with clients. That if somebody wanted to work one-on-one with me, it would be a very, very pretty penny. But I completely understand. That's great. I appreciate that a ton. And so one other thing about average order value that I want to kind of showcase, right, is all of you guys creators out there, right, after someone buys your stuff, that's not where the transaction ends. Okay, so let me show you guys. Once someone would say log in, okay, so now we're talking about the SamCart Courses app, right? Let's deliver one of these templates. We're gonna deliver the digital download right inside of SamCart's little, Courses app. I'm logged in. I'm one of Marie's students. This is what you can do from there. Is if I buy Notion Mastery and then I log in and I've got, maybe there's a preview image up here. Maybe there's like a quick start video down here in my lessons and my modules, right? You can, with what SamCart calls course cross sells, okay, continue those transactions. I can sell and unlock other stuff using someone's credit card on file just by making these little banners that we call course cross sells, okay? So if somebody didn't grab Notion planning templates, okay, I can click get access. I've just been emailed a 6-digit code to my my email address, okay? And if I went back, get that 6-digit code. Actually, let me just do it. Why not? Let's just show it how it's done.
So this for existing customers. So it's like we always talk about like this is another bite at their chance to like if they didn't buy in the first place, this is another chance to put it right in front of them. They're going to be logging into Notion Mastery every day as a student, and they're always going to see this at the top of their screen all the time. And someone's going to click get access, unlock now. So you got the code in there, Scott.
Yep, got the code. I could submit. I can see, hey, here's my card with this ending, Visa card ending and whatever. And I click complete purchase and bam, I have run my credit card for whatever other product, whatever service, whatever anything that you want to sell right in that space. And all of a sudden, every single student that is inside of your members area, diving in through your digital content, grabbing your digital downloads, you can showcase other things for sale and they can use their credit card on file to buy it. Right? Again, just another way, like when we talk about average order value, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about, okay? We are talking about average order value that does not end right when someone places their order. Every single one of you guys as creators has got to be giving your customers multiple bites at the apple, continue to showcase other things to them, right? You can always do it tastefully and in the right value. You know what I mean? A lot of people think like, oh, I don't want to kind of just like constantly bombard people with stuff. That's not at all what's going on here. You are in complete control of how many you show, of what you show to people, right? And it's just so seamless. I see it all day, every day. I see what it's doing to people's bottom lines, right? Focus on average order value and grow your sales.
Yeah, Scott, we talked about this in planning this show. It was like, if someone's willing to spend $750 on this course, like, what else are they willing to buy? Or like, they clearly have the budget to do something. This is not their last penny they have for you.
It is a great thing to say.
It's like,
yeah. And I want to bring up what Marie said. She said, we actually used to offer consulting upsells, but had to take it off because too many were booking. That is a great problem to have. I absolutely love that. And is a great like testimonial for any of you guys out there who are not currently offering this, right? If maybe you don't have the problem of too many people are booking right now, start offering stuff like this, right? But I really did love the comments you left out before, right? But I could see making a hot seat available as a bump. I love that. Yeah, bring somebody on as a hot seat. You know what I mean? Let someone pay extra to be, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
they're featured on the course.
Spot, like, featured. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Jordan. I forgot English for a second there. But yeah, absolutely, right? Make these kind of opportunities. Give your customers more bites, more chances at the apple to buy more stuff. And your revenue is going to take off. I mean, that's as 100% how it works. So yeah, Jordan, I think let's take it home. Let's wrap it up with some takeaways.
Yeah, let's do our closing arguments. So takeaways. So I'll do Your Honor. So the first one we talked about, I think need to drive home, is the scale mentality. The classic trope that, like, what got you here is not going to get you there. So things like Gumroad are great for simplicity, and like in the beginning of your business, you want simplicity. You want to just get customers in the door. You want to get products sold. But then as you grow, you start to run into this issue. Maybe you don't have the access to the right data that you want, or even things that we talked about, like retargeting. Like, you want to be able to ping those clients that are going to buy, but you know, they just needed one more question answered.
Big time.
So it's having that scale mentality, and like that's going, you know, taking a different mindset when growing your business. You want to take the second one?
Yeah.
Or do you have anything to add to that?
No, you covered that one great. No, that was awesome. Yeah.
And then finally, home field advantage. You want to talk about that, Scott?
Home field advantage. I think the idea of the home field advantage is sort of like, you know, listen, like as business owners, I would encourage every single one of you guys as creators to like bring things closer to you. Okay. Giving other people your money, giving people percentages of your sales, giving people, you know, letting them take, you know, we talked last week about how sites like Skillshare and Udemy and all these things, they don't give you the customer data. Amazon, you know what I mean? Like, you don't own those sorts of things. Like, it's so important that you have your customers, that you own their email address, you own phone numbers, you own whatever. Of course, we all believe in doing good things with that, you know, and sometimes that can go negatively. People take the connotation of like, well, you're going to spam or something. Like, no, who would ever do that? Like, you should treat those people like gold and not let other people own that information and promote your competition to them. You know, a lot of these other sites can do the opposite of what you would do with your customers. You know what I mean? You need to own that data, and growing and scaling and all that stuff means bringing that stuff closer into you. And I just encourage every creator out there, every single one of you guys, right? When you own that data, you can do more with it and you can grow because of it, right? And it's an absolute essential thing for growing your bottom line.
Scott, I would even add to consolidate everything. Instead of having things on one platform here and Gumroad over here, like, instead, like, just bring it all under one name, one domain, and have all that customer, you know, instead of having all these different customer hubs, all these different customer lists that you're having to export and send over, like, just bring it all into one house. Make it easier on you.
For sure. Keeps it cleaner. It helps you guys as creators, like, you know what I mean? Keep the messaging correct. You know what I mean? It helps you understand, okay, these customers have bought these things, so I can show them this without messing up the lists and keeping things clean. You know what I mean? It's so important to keep that kind of stuff clean. It's why, you know, why Samcart works so closely with the top email marketing platforms out there, so that we can help you guys understand perfectly and automate the, you know, the segmentation of who your audience is and who's bought what and who's still a prospect, who's bought, like, all of that stuff is so critical. And yeah, having a place of truth for all that stuff, you know what I mean? Having a spot where that's all there, you know what I mean? Super, super important.
Sweet. That's going to wrap it up. Folks, if you have watched to minute 48, I want you guys to leave a comment and say 48 in the comments, and we'll give you a little, you know, we'll give you a round of applause. But I'll put the call to action now. If you found this video very valuable, somewhat valuable, or slightly valuable, go ahead and subscribe to the Samcart YouTube channel. It's that big red button that you're watching right there. If you're on Facebook, come on over to YouTube, chat with us, and drop that subscription as well. Scott, close us out, sir.
Close us out. Marie, thanks so much for joining us. That was super fun.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that. Jordan, was like, I think Marie might join. And I was like, well, that'd be awesome. So feel free to reach out. We love to chat about any of this stuff. You know what I mean? Love to just connect. Obviously, really enjoy your stuff as we've kind of dove in and just kind of gotten a sense of what you're doing. Love Notion, big fan. It's been really cool kind of just getting to see the inside of your business, and hopefully you found some of this stuff really useful. So for all of you guys out there in creator land, thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for Samcar Takeover. This is what we do every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Be sure to drop in the comments who else you'd like to see us do a takeover. We did Ali Abdal. We did Casey Neistat. We did Kenji Lopez Alt, one of my favorite creators. So this is what we do every Tuesday, right? Mark your calendars down. Come join us. We love to give insight into awesome people doing awesome stuff and helping them hopefully make it more awesome. And that's essentially what we do here. So guys, for all of us here in Samcart Land, I'm Scott Moran, the co-founder, Jordan P. Anderson, our video production extraordinaire, and we'll see you guys in the next live. Take care, y'all.